Hi! In this tutorial, I'll show you how to retouch lips while keeping them natural, just like this. Let's get into it. Start by selecting the pen tool, and make sure Path is selected. Then, carefully trace the natural shape of the lips. To tweak the shape, hold Control, click on the points, and adjust them however you like. Here, I'm using some guides to make sure the proportion is proportioning and their alignment is aligning. Just keep adjusting it until it feels right to you. Once done, make sure to save this path since we will be using it again later. Go to the Paths panel, double-click on the path, and rename it. That way the path is saved. Go back to the Layers panel, then add a new layer. Now right-click on the path and choose Make Selection. Set the feather radius to 0. Then, press Q on your keyboard to enter Quick Mask mode. Now go to Filter, Blur, and select Gaussian Blur. This helps soften the hard edges of the selection. Just play around with the slider. 5.4 works fine for me. Press Q again to exit Quick Mask mode. Then press Ctrl plus Shift plus I to invert the selection. Grab the Clone Stamp tool and choose a soft round brush. Make sure Current and Below is selected. We will be cleaning up the area around her lips, which is why we inverted the selection. Just hold Alt and click on the area you want to sample. Then release Alt and paint the sampled area over the part you want to fix. Also, just make sure you're painting on the empty layer. Press Ctrl plus H to hide the selection for a moment. See how the lips look cleaner and have a more solid shape now. Ctrl plus H again to bring back the selection. Next, we will clean up the inside of the lip shape. Add a new layer, then press Ctrl plus Shift plus I again to invert the selection. Start filling out the edges with the Clone Stamp tool. Select both layers and hit Ctrl plus G to group them. Feel free to tweak the opacity if it looks too much. I'm keeping mine at 80%. There are still some areas where I want to reduce the effect. To do that, I'll add a mask to the group. Then, using a soft round brush with black as my foreground color, I'll gently brush over those areas. Next, let's soften those lip cracks so they look smoother and more hydrated. Create a new layer and grab the Clone Stamp tool again. Hold Alt and click on a smooth area to sample it, then release Alt and gently paint over the cracks. It's basically like copying and pasting skin texture. I want to even out the tones around the lips. To do that, I'll use Dodge and Burn. It's simply lightening shadows and subtly darkening highlights for a more balanced look. Create a new curves adjustment layer and lift the shadows. This will be our Dodge or brightening layer. Then add another curves adjustment layer and lower the highlights. This will be our Burn or darkening layer. Now rename the curves layers. Then select their masks and press Ctrl+I to invert them. This hides the effect, so we can apply it only to areas where we want them. Grab a soft round brush, set the opacity to 100%, keep the flow very low, around 1 to 5%. I'll start by brightening the darker spots. Just dab over them slowly. Also, make sure your foreground color is white, because white reveals the effect while black hides it. Keep dabbing until the brightness looks balanced and natural. If this tutorial is helping you so far, please don't forget to give it a like. Once you're satisfied with the result, select both layers and hit Ctrl+G to group them. I'll just rename it Dodge and Burn. See how much cleaner it looks now. If the effect looks too heavy, you can always adjust the opacity. I'll keep this one at 92. Alright, next we'll fix the upper lip. Notice how it looks more desaturated compared to the lower lip? To fix that, add a hue and saturation adjustment layer. Then increase the saturation and lightness slightly. Don't worry about the amount for now. We'll adjust it later. Select the mask, then press Ctrl+I to invert it. Remember the path we saved earlier? We'll use it now. Go to the Paths panel, hold Ctrl, and click the path thumbnail to load the selection. Use a soft round brush. Set both opacity and flow to 100% and foreground color set to white. Paint over just the upper lip area to bring back the hue and saturation effect. I accidentally painted over parts of the lower lip. To fix this, switch to a hard round brush for better precision. Then set your foreground color to black, since black conceals the effect. Carefully brush over the areas where you want to remove the effect. Then, double-click the adjustment layer icon to reopen its properties. Now adjust it until the color of the upper lip naturally matches the tone of the lower lip. Next, we will adjust the overall lip tone. Create another hue and saturation adjustment layer. Adjust the hue, saturation, and lightness settings until the lips look more vibrant and healthy looking. Then select the mask and invert it. Next, go to Paths panel and load the selection of the lip shape. With the brush tool selected, paint over the lip shape to bring back the effect. Double-click on the mask to access its properties. I'll be adding feather value just to soften the effect on the edges of lips. Readjust the values until you're satisfied with the tone. Once done, select both adjustment layers and group them. I'll just name it Color Enhancement. The lip texture looks a bit too harsh, so I want to add some softness. First, press Ctrl+Shift+Alt+E to create a stamp visible layer. It creates a new layer on top that merges all visible layers. Next, go to Filter and click on Convert for smart filters so the effect remains editable. Then go to Filter, Noise, Median, and increase the value slightly to soften the texture. After that, load the lip selection again and invert the selection. With the Smart Filter mask selected and white as the foreground color, press Delete to remove the effect outside the lip area. Okay, that looks blurry. I'll just decrease the opacity. And that looks fine to me. Now let's restore some shine. Create a new curves adjustment layer and slightly boost the highlight region. We don't want those shine to affect the dark areas. Double-click the empty space beside the layer thumbnail to open blending options. Under Underlying Layer, hold Alt and drag the shadow slider to split it, then move it slightly toward the center. Splitting the handle creates a smoother transition between dark and bright areas. Now, with a soft round brush, gently paint over the areas where you want the shine. Oh, don't forget to invert the mask first. As you paint, you can adjust the brush flow and opacity to control how strong the shine appears. Let's look at the before and after. It still looks dull. Let's add more shine. Create a new layer, set the blending mode to color dodge. Double-click on the empty space to access the blending options. In the advanced blending, uncheck the transparency shapes layer. With a soft round brush, set the opacity to 100 and the flow to only 1%. Then white as the foreground color. Slowly paint over to add more shine. These edges are a bit harsh. Let me soften it a bit. And there you go. Here's the before, and here's the after. If this video helped you out, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.